What's good, everybody? It's your boy Maurice, sports historian, back again with another video. I know this a little late. I said I was probably gonna get this out either Monday or Tuesday, and it's Wednesday when I'm recording this, so sorry about that. But hey, better late than never. And I'm actually getting this video out to you guys. It was a different one that I had planned, but I'm gonna say that one. And I'm probably gonna delay that one maybe until next week, but we'll see about that. I got work and shit, and I got time to record. Y'all don't care about that though. We going over my NBA watch list today. We going over my NBA watch list. Now, what do I mean by that? Last season, I think everybody, has teams of interest that they watch more than others. Last season, I would say I watched the Bucks, the Celtics, obviously the Bulls, as well as some other teams, more closely than others due to one reason or another. This season, I'm gonna be doing the same thing, except I'm making a video about it and I'm explaining to you guys why. So here, written down, I have 9 teams that I'm gonna talk about. Got 3 different categories for each team. I'll list those out as we go through them. But I just wanted to share with you guys some teams that I'm going to be paying a little bit more attention to this year, than normal, watching their games with a little more scrutiny, watching their games a little bit more often, stuff like that. So without further ado, let's get into my NBA watch list. Before we get into that though, if you guys enjoy sports content, if you guys enjoy NBA content just like this, make sure you leave a like on this video, as well as subscribe and turn on post notifications so that you get notified every time that I upload a video. So first off, for my NBA watch list, I'm going to list off the contender teams that I am paying more attention to. We're going to spend a little less time on them because they're contender teams, so it's a little obvious as to why I'm watching them. But, I'm going to be watching the Nuggets. Like I said, I was watching the Nuggets closely last season because I had a sneaking suspicion that they were going to be one of the best teams in the West, and they won the championship. So that's obvious as well. The Bucks, got to pay special attention to the Bucks. They just got Damian Lillard. That's a major move, and they looking to be one of the top teams, not only in the Eastern Conference, but in the league. So got to pay attention to them. Make sure you know what's what on them, because they very well could be holding the Larry O'Brien trophy at the end of the season as well. And then finally, within this contending teams category, we got the Boston Celtics. The Boston Celtics are like primed and ready to win the championship. It's very clear. They made very competitive roster moves in the offseason, to further themselves and better their chances of being able to hold up that Larry O'Brien trophy at the end of the season. And I mean, I expect a lot of good things from this Celtics team as well, but there is a lot of change that's happening. So I'm watching them not only as contenders, but to see how this team offensively, how they change. They got rid of Marcus Smart, they got rid of Rob Williams. That's touches that are going to go to Kristaps Porzingis, and I want to see how Porzingis interacts with this team. I want to see how they look minus Marcus Smart, because Marcus Smart at times took some really, really bad shots for this team, and they also ran through Marcus Smart a lot, which never really understood why when you got a player like Jason Tatum, who you could be going through, but that's neither here nor there. He's not on the team anymore. But yeah, those are my contending teams that I'm going to be watching. Nuggets, Bucks, Celtics. Obviously, I'm going to be watching other teams, but again, I'm putting more emphasis on watching the Nuggets. I'm putting more emphasis on watching the Bucks. I'm putting more emphasis on watching the Celtics, stuff like that. Moving on to some of my, I label them as young talent teams that I'm going to be watching. Again, kind of obvious for reasons. I'm going to be watching the Spurs. Victor Wembanyama's rookie year. You gotta, you have to tune into that. Is going to be good hoops, and I'm actually going to be tuning into the game today. I think they play the Mavericks today. Yeah, they play the Mavericks, so I'm going to be tuning in and out of that. But yeah, this Spurs team, also want to watch them on their rise, because they were a bad team last year. They're going to be a bad team this year. And if they really got this generational superstar on their team, I want to watch them rise from being a terrible team and to, being at the top of the conference if they get there. Whenever they get there, they're probably going to get there. But that's neither here nor there, and we're not there yet. We watching the baby Spurs. We watching this, and I'm putting in emphasis to watch a team that I'm projecting is going to miss the play-in. Multiple teams that I project are going to miss the play-in. So that's how you know this basketball should get real. I'm forcing myself to watch bad teams. Might not be bad basketball, but I'm forcing myself to watch bad teams. So that's, yeah. Next team I have up on this young talent tier It's the Detroit Pistons. We finally, hopefully, are gonna get to see Cade like fully healthy, and it looks like even though he hasn't had the most NBA burn because of injuries, he's still maturing his game, and he's still projecting to be a superstar in this league. So I gotta look out for Cade. Gotta see what he's doing out there in Detroit, especially because with Victor Wembanyama's not in the Western Conference, but Cade is. So if there's a player that I'm going to have to pay more attention to, it only makes sense that it's gonna be Cade, because I wouldn't meet Victor Wembanyama and the Spurs in the playoffs unless the Bulls were in the finals against them, and then you have to worry about them. But the Detroit Pistons, I can meet them in the first round, I can meet them in the second round, I can meet them in the third round. You know what I'm saying? I can meet them in that conference finals, and they would be barring me from getting to that NBA finals. So it's just a little bit more of a priority because he's in the East, and my favorite team is the Bulls. So yeah. Also, some things on this Pistons team. Want to see how Jaden Ivey progresses. I want to see what their big man rotation is looking like, because they got a bunch of big men on their team: James Wiseman, Marvin Bagley, Jalen Duren, Isaiah Stewart. That's full good to solid to okay, at least big man. I want to see how that rotation shakes out, because I project like two of them is going to either be traded or like waived or cut or something, by the trade deadline. So got to monitor that. And then, of course, just overall in general, it's good to scout out the competition in the East. And we're going to be playing them, the Bulls, we're going to be playing them, so it's going to be a little bit easier to catch those games rather than me having to watch like the Pistons versus the fucking Knicks. Like, I'm not going to want to watch that. I probably am, though. Like, stuff like that. And then my final team that I have in this young talent tier teams, the Oklahoma City Thunder, but not for the reason you may think. It's been very well documented on this channel as well as my group channel, Key of Threes. If you're not subscribed to that, you should go subscribe to that. Link will be in the description. It's been very well documented on this channel and that channel that I am not as high on Shai Gilgeous-Alexander as some people are. And a lot of people have this team projected to be a lock for the play-in, or a lock for the playoffs. And I'm projecting them to have to fight through the play-in again, which they unsuccessfully did last season. So I guess you can consider me kind of a hater. I'm gonna be hate watching the Thunder. I don't really recall a team I've ever hate watched during the season. So I guess the Thunder would be the first team that I end up hate watching like for an entire NBA season. That's crazy. Damn. I've turned into one of them, haven't I? Yikes, man. But hey, regardless, I'm gonna be watching the Thunder. I'm gonna be monitoring Shai. I'm gonna be monitoring Chet during his rookie year. He has a shot at winning, that Rookie of the Year award as well. I'm gonna be monitoring Josh Giddey. I'm gonna be monitoring J-Dub, not only because J-Dub's a good player, but I have him on fantasy too. Shout out to Who Has Hoops, by the way. And yeah, that's basically it about the Thunder. I'm gonna be hate watching, so if they do something good, you're not gonna hear me talk about it. If they shit the bed, yeah. Thunder fans might not like me after this season, but it's okay. And then finally, I have my three special interest teams. Don't necessarily see them as contenders, but I'm going to be watching them anyway just because they have a player or players that I want to monitor closely. First up being the Pelicans. I'm monitoring Zion and Brandon Ingram very, very closely because from my tier list video, which if you didn't watch, you should go check that out. From my tier list video, I had them projected as a 5 seed. And I even said in that video, I think that they could take a playoff series. So I got to be monitoring his team. They was really, really good when they was healthy last season. Hopefully we get them healthy again this season. But hey, injuries fucking suck, and Zion can't stay on the court, and BI is really no better either. So yeah, that's why I'm gonna be monitoring the Pelicans, and I really hope we get some good basketball on the Pelicans, because I think like Zion's phenomenal, and I want to watch phenomenal players work. I want to watch them, be good at basketball. That's the entire point of me being a basketball fan. So if Zion on the court, like, what the fuck? You know what I'm saying? But anyway, moving on. My next special interest team is the Atlanta Hawks. I heard the disrespect on Trae Young's name this playoffs into the offseason. Y'all was wilding really throughout the season. Y'all was wilding on Trae Young's name. And I understand he had a down year, but like, bro, and I'm not even gonna bring up who I was gonna bring up, but bro, the disrespect on Shai's name has been just it's been bad. And again, during that tier list video, I projected them to be a 4 seed based off of Trae Young said, I fuck all that. Y'all got me fucked up. And him basically willing his team to a 4 seed, as well as the East, like 1, 2, and 3 kind of being locked. And then 4 through 10 is like up in the air. You don't really know what's going to happen. So the Hawks taking that 4 seed is not incredibly unrealistic. Maybe a little bit presumptuous and a little bit generous on my end, but hey, it's my prediction. I do what I want, so whatever. But yeah, I like Trae Young a lot. I think he's very, very talented as a player. I like DeJounte Murray. I want to see that pairing work. And I also want to see how their new coach interacts with, Trae Young and how the offense looks. They got rid of, what was his name? They got rid of John Collins. So that's a pretty big, like missing piece to this team. We see how they respond like without him now. Onyeka Okongwu just got paid, and I think to a pretty damn good deal. So Clint Capella might be out of there soon, probably before the trade deadline. We can see some things shake up with this roster. I'm gonna be very interested to see what they do this season. But the final team for my special interest teams, I've mentioned them a few times in this video. Actually, before we get into that, I don't know if y'all know what's behind me. This thing I'm pointing at, that's the Chicago flag. So you already know I had to motherfucking represent, baby. I'm a Bulls fan, so of course I'm gonna be tuning to Bulls games. I'm watching Bulls games more than any other team. That's just how I rock. That's how I am. Flight 8, you know what I'm saying? Hey, be on the lookout, bro. Be on the lookout for my man's Flight 8. Be on the lookout for the Bulls, because listen, I'm one of those fans where I'm going to ride for my team no matter what. So if we a playoff team, we a playoff team. We're going to win the NBA Finals. If we out the playoffs, hey, we suck, but it's still Bulls Nation, baby. It's still see red. You know what I'm saying? So, of course, I'm going to be watching the Bulls as a Bulls fan. Nobody would have thought otherwise. But, hey, I'm ready. I'm ready to get the season underway, man. I'm ready to get the season underway. I'm so happy that basketball is back. I can't survive with just football or like no sports. Like it's rough. This last off season was hella rough. It was rough, bro. I almost didn't make it through. But with all that being said, that has been your boy Maurice, the Sports Historian. Again, if you guys like this video, please leave a like and let me know in the comments what teams you're gonna be watching, for what reason, or not. It's up to you. It don't matter. But with all that being said, I'm out of here. Peace out.